Hello there, I'm Speedy, welcome to Magic Item Tech Game Development Video Log, Episode 6. I took most of last week off for vacation, hence the time gap since the last entry, but I tried to make up for it by creating multiple smaller entries this week. Today's video will be art-oriented, showing the evolution and making of the I Am Overburdened box art made for promotional reasons. This is what one usually starts with, and this is what I end up with. But it can be a bumpy road, so I jump right into its story. For my previous projects, I did not spend too much energy on their promotional art. The final splash image for Operation Creep was done long after releasing the game, and at first I simply used the styled screenshot and the title text. That was obviously a mistake, because usually it is the first thing both the players and the press comes across when checking your game, so it needs to be a good teaser. But it is easy to forget the importance of it and miss allocating time for doing it right. I planned to make a difference this time, but I significantly underestimated the needed efforts. I wanted to capture the plot of the game in an image, suggesting the core mechanic, which is trying to collect a lot of loot and having a huge inventory, but still not being enough. All in all, I think I succeeded, but it took 2 tries. My first idea was to focus on the protagonist of the game, who is a Tomb Raider kinda guy, the not so morally okay one, and not being a typical hero or warrior, I wanted to present him as a bit of a simpleton and not someone who would kill a bunch of monsters with a single slash, since you won't be able to do that in the game either. I started out with some concept sketches in my notebook portraying a bandit or a pirate kind of figure carrying huge bags. I continued with fleshing out this character with a composition I thought I like. I wanted to create a pixel art end result because I dislike box arts with totally disconnected style from the game, but from my experiences with Operation Creep, I knew I'm going to need a number of image sizes for headers and title pictures. This is especially true if you plan to sell the game on multiple storefronts. As an example, Steam alone requests more than 5 marginally different aspect ratios, so I decided to go with vector art as a base and fix various sized renders instead of manually doing 3 to 4 different setups, pixel by pixel. I used Inkscape for vector art. It is a free and cross-platform vector graphics editor and has a convenient user interface. It's perfect for line art, icons, stuff like that. The first batch of line art and shading work was pretty promising. I grown to quite like the character. I tried out rendering the character in various sizes and fixing them up using color reduction and manual pixel pushing. I still had hope at this point that this concept will work out well. Afterwards, I threw together a placeholder pixel art title text, so the only thing left was composition, fine-tuning and polish. In other words, putting together an actual art piece which I could use as the promotional material for the game. Here are some of my attempts. I don't know if anyone likes them, but I sure felt like they simply aren't working. I like the character, I like the colors, but the image was lacking detail, a good looking title text, a correct composition, and most importantly, somehow it was lacking life. After days of fiddling on and off with it, I decided that no amount of polish is going to fix these problems, so I scrapped it and started over. I wanted to approach the next trial smarter, so instead of jumping in, I looked at a lot of reference pictures and laid down much clearer goals and concepts before jumping into producing the picture. Looking at some images made for other games helped a lot. It made me realize that I have to focus a lot more on the text first and foremost, and a more clever use of both color and space is required for the image as a whole. I came up with the following concept afterwards, which I really liked. I followed a similar approach for scalability using Inkscape to create the outline and work from the renders, manually pixeling the final image. And here it is again, the final box art in all its glory. Funny thing that it took much less time and effort than my first attempt, and I think it turned out to be a good deal better looking. The takeaway is, if you feel even a tiny bit stuck, sit back to the drawing board and spend some more time on your concepts. It will probably yield better results. The upcoming entries will be about the Linux and Mac ports of my previous game, Operation Creep, and the tile graphics of I Am Overburdened. You can follow or track the progress of the game on regular contacts. As always, I'm open for questions, comments and critique. Please leave them below the video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned!